Hey Virgo, I'm your astrologer, Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here is your weekly forecast for the week of Monday, January 29th to Monday, February 5th, 2018. Now what's going on this week is that we've got Mercury right here finishing up the last degrees of Capricorn. And that for you, Virgo, is your 5th house of happiness, joy, pleasure. Also rules passion projects, if you have any of those, kids as well, and romantic relationships going on. So I think there's lots of thought happening about what makes you happy, about what you enjoy. Some passion projects you're working on, kids, romantic relationships coming in. Okay, with Mercury at the very end of last week making a square over here to Uranus, which was in your 8th house of changes and of intimacy. Okay, there could have been some unexpected things that did come up last week in regards to some changes that you need to make in your life in a big way in order to be happy that came in, or something going on in regards to what makes you happy, an unexpected change coming up in some way happening. Maybe you having to readjust what makes you happy, or maybe there being some change that did happen that made you unhappy, something along those lines. Okay, could also be a financial investment that came up too, with the 8th house coming in. Okay, may also too, the 8th house, I know, sorry, it's kind of like an unusual house because so many things could fall into it, but the 8th house could also bring some unexpected thing in regards to sex and intimacy, in some kind of deep intimate relationship, and in regards to money that you share, or money going out in some way. Okay, and there could have been some unexpected thing that came up the very end of last week in regards to either some big change you need to make in your life, some money going out, or some sexual and intimate deep relationship that could have been a little unexpected, a little jarring, and a little hurtful for you to figure out how to be happy with this thing that came in. Okay, because it is Uranus and it is a square. I think this unexpected change that came up in your life last week, though, in regards to what makes you happy, was ultimately meant to open up here more doors for you to feel better in some way. Okay, that's because after Mercury came off of this square to Uranus at the end of last week, at the beginning of this week on Monday, it starts to make a very pretty aspect, a sextile over here to Chiron. Okay, and Chiron is in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships, usually of the one-on-one variety. A business partner, or a marriage partner, or some kind of contract that it is that you have or may be signing. Okay, so I think any unexpected change that came up yesterday or last week in regards to what makes you happy, that maybe required you to rearrange what you enjoy in some way, I think in the end is ultimately meant for you to have better relationships, to be happier with the people in your life in some way. Okay, to work better one-on-one with people so that you can start to do something you really enjoy, even if it may have been hard for you to do that in the past. Okay, so I think that is what is coming up there with that. Okay, a lot of focus here on how you can start to be happier with the other people in your life, and on what changes you can make here to start to have more joy with others, do more of the things that you love with other people coming in. Okay, I think as you're starting to think about your relationships and how you can have better and happier relationships, I think there's also a lot of focus coming in here where the Sun and Venus are conjunct the South Node in Aquarius, and Aquarius too rules your 6th house of your job and of your daily routines. So I think what's going on here is, now that there's been some unexpected changes in your life going on here in regards to what you enjoy coming up, that's helping you to rearrange your relationships and have better relationships. Now you're starting to figure out what you can do on your job, what you can do on the day-to-day to feel better. Maybe now that your relationships are changing, or that there's new doors opening up in your relationships to be happier, you're trying to figure out, okay, what does that mean for my job? What does that mean for my day-to-day, for what's happening for me on the day-to-day there? And I think you're starting to focus more on that, how you can have better relationships at work, better relationships with people on the day-to-day that really resonate with you and can help you feel the best and be the best person that it is that you can be. Okay, so I think that's a big focus coming in on Tuesday. As you're starting to think and to focus more and more on your job, on your daily routines, and how you can work with people better on your job, I think there is, however, some focus also coming in the opposite direction right here where the moon is at the lunar eclipse on Wednesday in your 12th house of your insides and of your spirituality. Okay, So I think you're focusing a lot on your job, on your daily routines, how you can be happier working with people on the day-to-day, or have the right relationships with you at work on the day-to-day. And I think as you're trying to figure out what's going on with you there in a very physical way in your life, I think this week you also are trying to make sure that whatever stuff is going on for you in your job and your day-to-day, that it really resonates with you on the inside, that it really feels comfortable for you and who it is that you are, okay? I think what's going to happen here, especially with Mercury on Thursday moving into your 6th house, I think there's a lot of things that are going to be going on here with your job, with your daily routine. Some big changes coming in there, of course, with the solar eclipse being in the spot later in the week. And I think before you start to focus on your job, on your daily routines, to make sure it's right for you, to make sure that you're working with the people that you need to work with, I think you need to make sure here that you're being taken care of inside, that you're listening to your intuition and your heart here, and that you're preparing internally here to have more of the life that it is that you want, okay? And I think that's a big thing coming in here this week and for the next 2 weeks, and maybe, you know, a little bit longer with the lunar eclipse here, is that before you can make some big changes in your job or do some different things in your daily routine, you need to make sure that you are comfortable inside with everything going on outside of you. Okay, you need to get right with yourself internally so that you can start to face the day feeling better, face the day with more understanding of why things are happening to you and what way, okay? And really needing to spend the time this week getting right with yourself internally, okay? So I think that's what's going on this week. I think as you're trying to spend the time getting right with yourself internally, though, I think there's going to be increasingly more pressure and more focus here to start to get your job in order, your daily routines, and to focus on that, okay? That's because as you're thinking about yourself and what you need inside, again, Mercury is moving into your 6th house here and making some other aspects going on, okay? On Saturday, Mercury here in your 6th is going to come into a sextile with Mars, which is going to be in your 4th house of home and family. Okay, so I think anything that goes on with your job here, any focus that you do to your job, change your job in some way, or your daily routines, I think is going to help you to feel better emotionally. I think it's going to help you to build something moving forward. I think it's going to help you to work better with home and family, or to understand your home life, your family life, your private life much better, okay? So I think you know there's some big things you need to work out in your job and on your day-to-day to feel much better in some way, really calling you to really figure out what's going on with you and your job, okay? Before you can figure out what's going on in your job, though, I still do think the focus needs to be inside on getting right with yourself internally so you can face the day better. Also, some uncomfortable things that could be coming up on Sunday especially are going to have to do right here where Jupiter is in your 3rd house of talk and of communication, okay, with Venus here on Sunday making a square over here to Jupiter. So I think as you're trying to change your job here for the better, or change your daily routines here so that you can feel better, so that you can have the home life and the family life that it is that you want in some way, I think there could be some uncomfortable conversation that comes up, some more uncomfortable conversation or communication about your job, about your daily routines, and about what your life just looks like externally, okay, that you're then going to have to integrate into your life so that it is that you can move forward here, all right? So I think there's just a lot going on here. I think you're preparing to have some big changes happen to you in your job, in your daily routines, and what your days look like, okay? And in who you do days with, who you partner with at your job on the day-to-day coming in here. I think you can sense that changing your job will help you get more clarity on your life, feel better emotionally, and build something that's important to you moving forward, especially with home and family. But I think maybe having to do all of this on the day-to-day could be a little bit unsettling to you on the inside and could bring up some hard conversations. And I think if you focus on getting right with yourself internally as you make some of these big changes in your daily routines to work more or better with other people, I think it's going to help you to face the day, to step into some of these chapters and just feel better communicating with other people about some things that are going on inside you as some things in your life change, okay? So that's what I've got going on for you, Virgo. Now your card is the Devil reversed, okay? This card, to me, I think it's actually all about letting go of bad habits, letting go of old things that have been holding you down, okay? Normally to me, when this card shows up reversed, you're ready to let go of the past, to let go of anything that's been hurting you or holding you back, and to move into new chapters, to do things better, to do things differently, and to let go of the things that you have done that are wrong, or maybe that other people have done to you that are wrong as well. And I think this card is a message to say, stop holding on to things that are no longer working for you. Old lifestyles, old habits, old people, okay, so that you can start to build a better life that resonates more with you, so that you can start to cultivate better and healthier habits and begin to step into something that can really serve your highest good instead of undercut it, okay? So that's what I see going on for you this week, cutting the ties with some old life and some old way of doing things so that you can start to feel much better working with other people and creating a life, hopefully, that will bring more stability and comfort to you, all right? So that's what we've got for you this week, Virgo. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. If you like it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.